Good morning, everyone. It is 11 o'clock, and my name is Teevee the Marketer. You're tuned in to the Teevee Marketing Show, where we share tips, tricks, hacks, current news, and trends as it relates to digital marketing and digital advertising for small local businesses. Thank you for tuning in again. For those of you that are returning, I see no one here. Hopefully someone tunes in, and if not, I'll see you later in the ads when I run this to try to share this information with everyone who could possibly benefit from this. So if you're seeing this in the future, thank you very much. Once again, my name is Teevee the Marketer, and before I get started, I actually wanted to share a quick story. It just dawned on me a little earlier as I was putting together my little presentation. On March 11th, it will be my 11-year anniversary. On March 11th, that story just totally got screwed up. I'm thinking of 11th from 11 a.m. On March 1st, 2009, this guy right here quit his day job. Had been working in the grocery business for about 18 years, a lot younger than I look. I've been in the grocery business, management, training. I've done a lot of things in the business, and in 2009, on March 1st, I quit to officially make this business, marketing, my full-time job. I am still here 11 years later. It was touch and go there for a few years, but I'm still here. I made it. I survived. Even though it was tough, it was well worth it. I was talking to my mom recently, and she was sharing how worried she was about me. As you can imagine, any parent is worried about their kid quitting their job to start some crazy business that they don't know what's going to happen to them. So I'm still here. I'm excited. A lot has been learned along the way. A lot has happened. I've grown. I've reached a lot of my dreams, accomplished a lot of the initial dreams and goals that I had set for myself. And it's crazy that I'm still here. So it looks like I'm fairly certain that a day job, I'll never have a job again, not your standard. This is something I love doing, and I enjoy helping businesses. So here we go. Like I said, thank you for tuning in. And first things first, I wanted to touch on what we will be talking today. So we'll be talking about lead generation strategies and tactics. What are lead generation strategies? What is the whole concept? Basically, it's the idea of, well, a couple of weeks ago we talked about the funnel, how everything is a funnel. At the top of the funnel, we have, and actually I'll just go ahead and jump into an illustration I have. Let's see here. Hello, person. I don't know who you are. Oh, I made this smaller. Pardon me. Look at that. Go here. Voila. So one of the things we're going to talk about today is something called the value ladder. But before I get into that, so we can, oh, by the way, hi, everyone that's here. I got some new toys, by the way. Check this out. Thank you for tuning in. Yeah, I really appreciate you. Thank you. All right, that's enough of that. So we talked a few weeks ago. Pardon me. Let me get this. About a funnel. So a funnel basically looks like this. People come into the top of the funnel. Those are people that are in the market but aren't completely aware of certain things. So you have the top of the funnel where they're not as aware of things, but they know they have a problem. Middle of the funnel, they're a little more aware. What's it called? The middle of the funnel, and the bottom of the funnel. Those are people that are ready to buy something, are ready to engage with your brand, or ready to move forward. So these are the people that we're looking to get at the bottom of the funnel. Another metaphor that I used is that basically marketing is dating, and at the top of the funnel you're going on simple dates like coffee dates, right? You're going on you maybe go walk in a park, whatever. But as you go down here, things get more intimate, money is exchanged, maybe you go on trips together, that kind of thing. So in essence, or you're going for a one-night stand. In essence, we're going for a one-night stand. You're trying to talk to people that are ready to buy something or ready to engage further with you. And those are the people we're trying to attract with our lead gen strategies. Okay? They're ready. We just have to put the right offer in front of them. We have to give them the right opportunity to engage with us. And that leads us right into the value ladder. So before we move on, let me back up a little bit. And who are lead gen strategies for? They're basically for any business that obviously engages with individuals who want to continue buying their product. They obviously tend to be, and who I focus on is for local businesses. So, pardon me. So for local businesses, oh goodness, where's my notes? So for local businesses, all of them really, attorneys, roofers, dentists, chiropractors, yoga studios, gyms, they all live and die by, sorry, I'm up here. Keep forgetting there's a camera up here. They all live and die by leads. Getting a consistent amount of leads every single month, new leads that need their services to be able to continue to grow and stay in business, pay their bills, make their payroll, and grow. So these businesses consistently are trying to get leads. And a lot of the general ways that people get leads, the traditional ways are word of mouth type of leads. People sharing their information, and then they end up calling, messaging, emailing. So that's the typical way of going about it for these individuals. And what we're trying to do is engage with them, get in front of them by sharing something, giving something to be able to get their name, number, and email, and or they directly message, call, comment on a post if it's a Facebook ad or a Facebook post of some sort where you're trying to create a lead. So that's what we're trying to do, and that's who it's for. And those are the platforms that we're going to help them on. Actually, where did my comments go? Oh, they're right there. Hello to people that are in here. There it is. Hey, so how do we engage with them, right? They're going to be, we're going to create ads, and this is for you, when you're trying to actually create a lead generation campaign, and you have something and you're just trying to sell them at this point. Ideally, you're building an audience and you're building value, but you still need to go for the sale. You still need to ask them out on a date. You still need to take it to another step. So where you do this on Google Ads, YouTube ads for me, and Facebook and Instagram. Instagram not as much, but it's still possible and still viable. But those are the three main platforms for me: Facebook, Google, and YouTube. Okay. Facebook, you're going to show your ad to people in that audience, maybe women that are interested in yoga. So if you're doing yoga classes, or maybe men that are interested in CrossFit, if you do a CrossFit gym of some sort, or a gym if you're just a personal trainer, I would put my ad, my lead generation ad in front of them. Or Google search, maybe they're looking for Dallas personal trainer, right? That's a lead generation strategy where you're trying to get in front of them, and then when they land on your page, you want to get their name, number, and email, or ask them to just go ahead and call you. That's generating a lead. Okay, so those are the platforms. Now let's go ahead and jump back into the value ladder and tell you what it is. And it's something that I want you to start visualizing for yourself. Let me click here. Boom. So the value ladder essentially is just a visual diagram to demonstrate how you're taking an individual from entering into your funnel, into your world. At the bottom, how they enter, and then they scale up. And ideally, you're scaling up from something free or low cost to something worth a little more money, maybe a lot more money, and maybe recurring. And this is how a business, works. This is a perfect example of a dental funnel, a dental value ladder. You come in for a free teeth cleaning, you go in for a free teeth cleaning, then they take a look and they say, hey, you need this and that, maybe you can take care of it right now, and they offer you an upsell. And then after that, maybe they have some larger value processes, procedures that they need to get into, and you probably know, I know I did when I went in, but you can't pay for that right away. But they scale you up, they upsell you, because the chances are that you need more work. And what's interesting about the value ladder as it relates to dentists, and that I know from personal experiences, In some cases, they put you into some type of program, a monthly or just a program of some sort. I'm trying to think of the one that I went into, which is like $500. Man, my spelling sucks. $500. And what that does is it gives me like quarterly teeth cleanings for free. It gives me, I think it got me a toothbrush. That was one of the offers, like an electric toothbrush, and 10% discount on all the expensive procedures, on all the procedures that I needed to pay for. But by doing so, they're able to lock me into something else. Okay, so a value ladder is that it's walking you, taking you up the staircase of love and money value. Up to your higher end products, right? Cannot spell. Your higher end products. But at the beginning, and the lead gen process starts in that first step, right? You need to keep that in mind, and that's how we're going to create a lead is by giving something away. Now, before I move forward, I wanted to address the idea of giving away. I've talked to potential clients that are like, I don't want to give anything away. It devalues my brand. It devalues what I do, and then it makes me look cheap. And my argument to that is not necessarily. You don't have to give away, your procedure that costs $1,000 for $100. There's nothing like that. But ideally, you're doing something of value to give to them. Obviously, for a popular lead gen offer to give to an individual would be a teeth cleaning. It could be a free exam. It could be something of that nature that is on the lower end, to be able to get them in the door and introduce them to you, your office, your procedures, your attitude, your culture there, to get them to take the next step, eventually to then pay you more money for something else. Because ultimately, if they don't know you, they can't trust you, how are they going to find you and discover you? But it's just an argument. I also know that I have attorneys, for example, a typical lead gen offer for attorneys, because it's just industry standard, is a free consultation. Pardon, that microphone is on my nerves. A free consultation, right? It's natural for almost every legal niche, whether it's immigration, criminal, ticket, driving, right? PI, personal injury, that's what it is, personal injury as well. It's really standard to give a free consultation. Now, I've come across clients, including one that I work with right now, who does not give a free consultation. But the difference between him and a lot of the people that don't want to do it, especially at the beginning, is that the client that doesn't give free consultations, he's been around for 20 years. And I have another one that's been around, I think she's going on 10 years. She doesn't give a free consultation either. But it's because they've been in the market long enough, they have an established reputation, they have reviews, they know their value, and they're not willing to give it away, and they're willing to wait to create a lead for someone that will pay. So, but what they do is that both of them do is they have a free video, and in that video they give free information, right? And I've talked about this before. You have to give something, and that is not spelled correctly. I recognize that before anybody says anything. They give free information. We record a video about every quarter to 6 months about something that's going on in their industry, in their legal field, and they share that information. They give like some basic advice as to what their potential clients should be considering, and then we advertise that piece of content to like $3,000 to $5,000 a month to be able to get it in front of their target audience. They then turn and share it, and they share it, and they share it. It gets a ton of views. It's free information. He takes the time to do this, so he's still giving something away, although he's not giving the free consultation. What then happens is they start to call, email, message directly, or comment on the actual ad. My thing just froze. Oh, there it is. They comment on the ad. Yeah. And then thus a lead is created. Then he has, I want to say, a $75 consultation, and then the next is anywhere from 1K to 5K to 10K, whatever it is, depending on what they go with, right? But he's able to do this and do it well and not worry about giving the free consultation, because he does invest on the front end by putting this free information in front of them. Let's look at another example. Let's look at a gym, for example. I've seen this before. You get a free class, so the lead generation ad is something like, hey, and obviously they try to brand themselves as a reputable business that's around, they service a bunch of people, and then the offer is, hey, come in for a free class. They come in for a free class, then the next step is like a 5-pack or a 10-day pass or something like that. And this is the same thing for yoga studios as well. Get a free not a free 10-day pass, but a discounted 10-day pass. So it's another level that the individual is able to get to invest, and they take another step, right? They literally take another step in the relationship, and maybe it's like $50 or $25, right? So it's not a huge commitment yet. Now they're learning more about that the company. They're starting to really, and at this point, especially as it relates to gyms and yoga studios, that kind of thing, you start to meet with the community. You start connecting with the community of others that show up. You start to create relationships and friendships, and then the energy is high. So you start to become addicted to this high that is not only just the workout, but the community that's being built and that's cultivated in these types of locations, these types of businesses. Then the next level may be the monthly, right? 100, I don't know, I've seen some as high as 200. Ideally, they have some type of discount if they sign up right away after the 10-day pass. I know from a yoga studio, it's like 120 regularly, but if you sign up then and you do it on the, as a debit, auto pay, it would be like 90 or 80, I forgot what it was. So it makes it almost like a no-brainer. But hopefully you're starting to see that people are escalated up. And we're going to get back to the Legion idea in a moment, but I wanted you to see what you're working towards and why you would even give anything away, right? And key part of all this is having your pitch and your sales pitch, your sales pitch, having your pricing and your sales pitch in place, having the script. How are you going to talk to them? How are you going to sell them to the next step? How are you going to escalate them, ascend them up the ladder? You need to be a process and not just haphazard and off the hip, because then the likelihood of it actually producing results is a lot less. And if you take a step back even further, make sure you're offering a great service, because if you don't, they're not going to sign up. They're not going to take that next step. If you're an attorney and you do the consultations, actually, this is a great point. I've worked with attorneys a lot. I worked with an attorney for about 10 years. Yes, 10 years. I love her. And she not once in our entire time working together complained about the quality of the leads. Not one time. And I've worked with other attorneys who within the first week, 2 weeks, and like consistently throughout our business relationship, they complained about the leads. That they were too cheap, they were just looking for freebies, that they were wasting their time, that they're all these things. And it didn't make sense to me how this person, and then a couple other businesses that she has, never complained about the quality, but this one did. And in my opinion, from talking to her enough, I realized that she just had her pitch down. She knew how to position it. She knew how to obviously give value in that free consultation to make sure that the person that's sitting in front of her felt like she was getting, because she doesn't do free consultations as well, felt that they're getting their money's worth for the time that they're spending there. So even if they didn't sign up with her, they still loved her. But she was able to convert enough of them, and this is the key, is to know your numbers. If you sit 10 people in front of you, how many would you be able to convert to that next step, to becoming a client, a paying client, or paying the retainer, right? How many can you close? Do you have a script in place? I know for her, she has processes lined up for every aspect of her business, and I believe, but a lot of other businesses don't have that, and that's why they struggle. And the sales pitch to move them from one step to the next step need to be in place, so that way it's consistent. It's easy for the person, whether it's you or whether it's someone else selling that for you. It needs to be consistent and obvious that the value is there, and taking the next step is the next obvious step, right? So even though she's not offering a free consultation. So therefore, they're a little more higher quality, of course, but even she, for the first 3 or 4 years she did, and she still never complained about the leads. So keep that in mind. The value is there. You have to have a pitch. You have to have your script together. You have to present the value of moving on, and be ready to put that in front of them and frame it just right so that they make the choice is obvious. Okay. Otherwise, doing any lead gen is a waste of time and a waste of money. If you don't have that in place, you're just throwing money away. All right. Back to my little presentation. Please hold. Hey. What's happening? I have a big screen and a little screen. There I am. So a lead generally is a name, number, and email. You want to pull that, right? Or you want to initiate a call, a message, an email, or comments, a message on direct, whether it's on Facebook, whether it's on Instagram. You want to create some type of contact. That's a lead. The most important part of all this, and I basically alluded to it throughout, is your offer. I had a marketing trainer, one of my mentors, said to me that your offer needs to be so good it makes you just want to slap your mom. Okay, that's an exaggeration, but definitely want to be. It's so good that you would take it. Now, in some cases that may not be realistic, but it needs to be something that makes people stop. Now, take a look at your industry. What are people doing? Maybe you need to mimic what's already in place, or maybe you need to switch it up. But it definitely needs to be something that makes people stop and like, you know what? I'm going to take them up on this offer. I am interested in this. I am interested in this service. I am interested in yoga. I am interested in losing weight. I just haven't found the right people. Let me take them up on this free class. Let me see what they're all about. Right? You need to figure out what that is. For attorneys, it's usually a free consultation. It could also be something as simple as a PDF, an ebook of sorts. For roofers, maybe 8 questions to ask the roofer when 8 questions to ask your roofer when deciding who to go with. So that way you're not ripped off, right? And then when they submit their name, number, and email to download that piece of content, then you created a lead. Now you can market to them. This is a different way of going around about the lead gen methodology, but it's one that's also effective, and you start to create a relationship because you delivered that piece of content. Free class for dentists is a free teeth cleaning, maybe it's a free exam, and I'll back up. It doesn't have to be free. So, for example, if you do a yoga class or a class for $20, $30, maybe just do a free trial, not a free, but a discounted one, maybe $5. And by doing so, you're able to then kind of sift through the people that are just looking for free, because that's always a concern. It is a real concern, and that takes time and effort. So maybe just a $5 class, and if you've already positioned it and anchored the class value at $20, $25 for drop-in, for example, in this scenario, then $5 is a great deal. That's over 80%, something like that, in discount. It's $5. They pull out their credit card, they pull out some cash. So now that they're actually willing to pay for something. So it doesn't have to be free, but it has to be something viable, something that the person can feel like, okay, this is not a big risk on my part. Especially if their presence is demanded. If they have to show up to your class, if they have to show up to an appointment of some sort, you're asking them for their time and energy, right? So it's still it is a commitment. So it doesn't have to be free, but something that makes people want to say, okay, I'm going to go ahead and give them my name, number, and email. Okay? That is incredibly important. Otherwise, you're wasting your time. The offer is absolutely important. Number 2, although it could be number 1 as well, is make sure that within your advertising, your ad, you're targeting the right people. Now, targeting, what that means is in Facebook and Google and YouTube, you can target like a yoga instructor. I'll use this because my girlfriend's a yoga instructor. A prenatal yoga instructor. So we're trying to target women that are pregnant. But you need to make sure you're targeting the right person. If you're selling yoga pants, chances are you don't want to target men. So make sure you're targeting the right people and you have an offer, and then you put it out in front of them. This type of strategy, all this stuff I'm talking about, you're going to need advertising. The lead gen strategy, you're going to need to advertise and put money behind it. If you just post it on your page and you don't have an audience, an engaged audience, or you have a small audience, chances of anything happening with it are going to be really, really low. So you're going to have to put some money behind it, invest in putting money behind it. If it's a good offer and you put it in front of the right people, you're going to get some leads out of it, which brings me to my next point. This is important. Make sure that you're responding to people promptly and quickly. A problem that I have had with some clients before is some of them were too busy already, or they didn't have the infrastructure in place and the team to be able to answer the emails, the calls, the messages, and respond to all the leads being created to start to create that relationship. They took their time, took a day, 2 days. If you're not responding within 5 to 10 minutes, that hot lead, warm to hot lead, starts to become cold fast. Especially if it's a campaign that you put together on Google, they're going to go on to the next person. So if they're looking for a divorce attorney and they clicked on your ad, that's a lead gen ad, and they get there and they call you or they email you, they message you, and they get nothing, they're going to move on to the next person. There's no reason for them to wait. In the era that we live in now, we want instant satisfaction. And you're spending money to get this ad and generate that lead, but then you're not following up with them, then you're once again, you're throwing money away, okay? So it's absolutely important. Another thing to note is the client buying cycle. So depending on the industry that you're working in, maybe you're buying or selling a home for individuals. Well, it's a fact that takes a long time. Obviously, know your market. How long is it going to take to actually convert them to someone that will follow through on that deal with you, right? Just keep this in mind, and this will help figure out how long it's going to take. The more money has to be invested, and the more time, and the more money, and the more financial information they have to share with you as a part of your service, like a financial advisor, for example, the longer it's going to take to convert that lead into someone that's paying you for your services, because it's really intimate. They're sharing everything about themselves, and they're sharing a lot of money. If it takes, obviously buying and selling a home, it's a huge transaction. So converting that lead into a actual client, a customer, a client, a patient, say the teeth cleaning, $10,000. I'm paying $10,000 for a procedure myself. It's going to take a lot of time. However, it still works. You just have to also have a program in place to consistently get in front of them. Okay? Just keep that in mind, because they work. These things work. These strategies work. You just have to be able to nurture the individuals if it's going to be a lot of money and a lot of financial, personal information being shared. All right? Let's see here. That's about it. Lead gen strategies, for me, my business, and helping others, it accounts for 80% of my business. I do this for other clients, so I know that it works. I have a divorce attorney that I was producing 50 to 100 leads a month. Immigration attorneys, criminal attorneys. This is what I do for clients. So I know that it works, but you have to put money behind it. You have to have a good offer. If you don't have a good offer to put in front of them, then don't bother. And I think that's the problem that I run into when I talk to potential clients, prospects. They're like, well, I've tried Google, I've tried Facebook, I tried all these things. And they worry that they're convinced that it's not going to work. The problem, once you look at it, is it's a handful of things, really. But inevitably, the number one problem is the deal, the offer that they're putting in front of their market. It's not rich enough, or it's not convincing enough. Usually the second part is the landing page is crap. They have too much stuff on it. They don't have the right stuff, the right information needed for the individual. They're sharing too much information that's not related to what the person they're advertising to. But number one is that offer. What is the offer to get them to come in? Obviously, copy and writing the right message is all important. But it almost always, the first thing that's really evident is that they don't have the right offer, and or they're targeting the wrong market. At the end of the day, advertising works, whether it's Facebook, Google, YouTube, TV, billboard, but you have to have the right offer, the right message to put in front of the right people. With digital, obviously, you can really put it in front of the right people, a lot closer to, anyways, than you can, a billboard or TV. It's still a little more difficult versus the digital platform. I did want to share this. I do this for clients. Where did my stuff go? Where'd my thing go? And I wanted to, I don't even know where it is. If you or anyone you know fits into any of these industries, maybe they're an immigration attorney, any kind of attorney, usually personal injury, divorce, I have campaigns for lead generation campaigns for these clients ready to go right now in any of these industries. Gym, yoga, I kept on talking about them, auto insurance, chiropractor, dentist. I have lead gen strategies and campaigns already pre-built, targeting, landing pages, all this stuff ready to go for these individual industries and many more. I have about another 10 or 15. And especially if you know someone that is in these industries, that are in these industries, I have trouble with that for some reason, and also maybe targeting the Spanish language market, I can help them. Now, why is this important to you? Why should, if this isn't you, but you know someone, I'm giving, for anyone that signs up with me, I'm asking for referrals. So if you send someone to me and they sign up, I'm getting a $500 bonus signing referral. So if they sign up with me, I'll give you $500. I'll zap it to you, I'll Zelle it to you, I'll do whatever you want to pay you for your efforts and to thank you. So please keep me in mind, look at these lists. I'm gonna actually share a more comprehensive list. But if you know someone, message them, let them know that I'm here to help. I literally have campaigns where I can generate these leads for them almost immediately, and they're ready to go. So my name is Teevee the Marketer. I appreciate you. Thank you for tuning in, and tune in 2 more weeks on the 4th. No, it's going to be on the second Tuesday. This is the 4th. The second Tuesday of March for our next episode. I'm not sure as to the topic. I really, really appreciate you. And remember, if you're in business and you're not marketing effectively and consistently, are you really in business? Thank you very much. Take care, and I'll see you in a couple of weeks. Bye-bye.